White Lions in the house and ready for another reaction video. Now, the video I am about to react to has been brought to us by none other than a Planet Dolan. Great channel. Be sure to subscribe to them. They do great work. And also, the video we are about to react to is Weird Teachers Reddit Stories. So let's get this party started and have some fun. So without further ado, let's go.
Planet Dolan.
From eating earwax to dressing up as Sonic the Hedgehog, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the weirdest things we've seen a teacher do. I'm Melissa, and today I'll be your narrator.
Hey guys, Planet Dolan has just released a new line of merchandise. Make sure to check it out in the link below.
Number 10 was submitted by Bloxy Watt. When she was in 4th grade, Tolup's teacher started the class drunk. She'd even carried the bottle of vodka into the classroom. On the way to her desk, the teacher stopped in front of the computer.
What was she like in the classroom? I blah my vodka and I'm tipsy. I mean, really. But besides that, back to the video.
And decided to take one of the monitors. When she did, the teacher went back to her desk and cuddled with the monitor during the rest of the class. She ignored her students, who tried to get her back on track, because she was too drunk. Needless to say, Tolup's drunken teacher was fired. Number 9 was submitted by I'm Too Silk for You. In 7th grade, Pringle was talking to some of his friends in the hallway when he heard someone running behind him. He turned to see his math teacher, dressed up like Sonic the Hedgehog. The teacher looked at Pringle and his friends and said, "Don't be late for class! Gotta go fast!" That was when Pringle realized that 7th grade was the best year he ever had in school. Number 8 was submitted by Gilly.
Well, at least the teacher was, well, I wish I had teachers like that when I was in school.
Bleen the Gamer. One day, Doopy walked into her classroom and sat down. She noticed that she was in the wrong chair, and so did her teacher. The teacher lost her shit, screaming, "You're not supposed to sit there!" She proceeded to throw a book at Doopy, while the other students watched. Then the teacher grabbed a chair and threw it, hitting her on the head.
What the hell? What happened to this teacher? I've heard of teachers going off the handle in class, and I've seen videos, but this is ridiculous. What did this girl do? What was it like? Oh, I'm just sick. If one more kid does one more thing, I swear I'm gonna lose it. And then this girl does this and sits in the wrong desk, and she's like, "Ah, throw the book at you, and here's a chair." Just saying.
And knocking her out. She ended up being rushed to the hospital. All that for sitting in the wrong chair. Number 7 was submitted by Donuts the Dozen. James Shark had a very strict English teacher when he was in 8th grade. He was well known for yelling at students, even when they were nice to him or just standing close. One time, James Shark and his friend decided to eat their lunches in the courtyard. Just as they were getting settled beside a tree, James Shark noticed the strict English teacher petting a snail. He then whispered to the snail, "I love you, and I'll never forget your honey." He then threw the snail on the ground and stomped on it. Terrified, James Shark and his friend watched as his teacher screeched.
What kind of sadistic snail fetish is this? Snail crush? I don't want to think about it.
Or running towards the door. Number 6 was submitted by Doopy XD. During his first year of high school, Civil Spider had an attractive but weird teacher. Since Civil Spider and his classmates were a bunch of rowdy teenagers, they tried their absolute best to aggravate her. One day, when Civil Spider and his class—
Why are you trying to aggravate her? That could be a... Oh no, I can't say that on camera.
Classmates wouldn't stop talking during class, their teacher climbed onto her desk and went into the fetal position. She began to sob, making everybody in the classroom shut up. That was when she lifted her head and said, "Good, now we can continue." Civil Spider and his classmates broke out laughing, but paid attention from then on. Despite her weirdness, Civil Spider thought she was the coolest teacher ever. Number 5 was submitted by Star/25. When he was in 7th grade, Hellbent took a technology class where he had a substitute teacher one day. He told everyone to review everything in their books. because they had a big test coming up. He then left the room, but Hellbent was curious, so he followed him. Just outside the door, Hellbent saw the sub take out a jar of peanut butter. He then began to spread it all over his foot. Once the sub noticed Hellbent was watching, they stared at each other for a moment before Hellbent walked back into the classroom. Number 4 was
What was
submitted...
he about to do? PB&J footsies with somebody else? Or was he about to be like a contortionist and suck on his own toes?
By a grim fate. During science class one time, Zaragamba and his classmates were given some work to do by their teacher. Their teacher didn't care if they talked, so everyone decided to chit-chat. Halfway through class, their teacher went into the closet, then came back out with a bottle of liquid. He poured it all over his desk while Zaragamba and his classmates continued to talk. The teacher lit a match and tossed it on the desk, which erupted into flames. The class gasped and screamed, with Zaragamba fetching the fire extinguisher as another student yelled at the teacher for what he'd done. After Zaragamba put out the flames, the teacher told everyone he was just cleaning his desk. Number 3 was submitted by Lucid Lily. So Ramona...
Be right back. Now I'm back.
His 5th grade teacher was pregnant. Her clothes weren't fitting very well, so she would sometimes go to school in her pajamas. She also tired easily and would usually teach while sitting. Nothing too weird, until one day when Ramona came in a little earlier to do some work, like she usually did. The first thing she noticed was that the blinds in the classroom were closed, which was strange because her teacher usually liked the blinds open. When she peeked inside the stretch room, Ramona noticed her teacher naked, rubbing lotion on her stretch marks. As soon as she saw Ramona, they both screamed. Ramona covered her eyes.
Is a classroom really the best place for that? What was this woman thinking? Oh, I'm pregnant. I don't have time to get home. I'm just gonna stay in my classroom. Just close the blinds. Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just close the blinds. Close the door. No kid will peek in. I'm sure that won't happen. Let me rub the lotion on the skin. Really? Ay.
Teacher did her best to cover her body. Later that day, Ramona heard her teacher crying to the other teachers about what had happened that morning. From that moment on, Ramona wasn't allowed in the classroom before 8:30 a.m. Number 2 was submitted by Psycat.
She shouldn't have been in there in the first place! Being naked, rubbing oil on the skin. For goodness sakes, you could have done that in a bathroom! Just saying.
Derek was in primary school when he saw his assistant teacher do something weird. It was so weird that, to this day, he still isn't sure if he saw it correctly. One day, he was sitting in the middle of an ordinary lesson with his teacher and her weird assistant. At one point, Derek glanced over the assistant teacher, who was picking her ear with her pinky. After that, she looked at the glob of earwax on the tip of her finger before licking it off. She then carried on like normal, as though nothing happened. Derek didn't say anything because he thought he might get in trouble. Number 1 was submitted by Baileybug.
I almost puked in my mouth a little after I heard that.
2001. In high school, Spincess had a weird teacher. Her teacher would keep about 6 pairs of shoes under her desk. Whenever her teacher put on a movie, she would sit under her desk and smoke. Princess and her classmates would notice smoke coming up from under their teacher's desk. Their teacher told them she was shining her shoes, and the cloud they were seeing wasn't smoke, but dust from her dirty shoes. Needless to say, their teacher wasn't fooling anyone. Huge thanks for the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another.
We all know what this teacher was doing. Doing a couple puffs of the old magic weed.
Question for you. What are some things you did as kids that you would consider to be creepy now? Let us know on the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. Catch you guys next time.
Well, that was interesting and downright weird as hell. But I wish I had some of those teachers when I was in school. I mean, really, that was just awesome. But besides that, this was by none other than a Planet Dolan. Great channel. Be sure to check them out. Be sure to check them out on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to them. They're a great channel. They do awesome work. And also, be sure to subscribe to my channel, White Lion Gameplays and Reactions, and have a nice day. Also, hope you have a nice stupendous day and hope you all take care. But I have to say, that was just plain awesome and weird as all hell. But besides that, 1, 2, 3.